welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Standard, and that's because coming up very soon is the Spotlight Series event at SCGCON Atlanta that I am attending. The main event is a 50k 2-day event. Top 8 goes straight to the Pro Tour. The winner gets Standard for a year, which means Wizards of the Coast will send you a case of every new set that comes out for all of 2025. Spotlight Series are the new feature event that Wizards of the Coast offers, and this is the first one that will ever happen in the world, and I'm very excited to go play in it, but that does mean I have to learn Standard. And I'm just going to start here. This is Dimir Midrange, is what it's called on MTG Goldfish, and this deck makes a lot of sense to me. It has evasive dum-dums that draw cards or are disruptive, and then it has Enduring Curiosity, which turns all of your creatures into Ophidian. What I have to do here is disrupt my opponent's plan while I draw cards and chip for damage. This makes sense to, I think, anyone who's ever played Magic, but especially is my style of gaming. According to MTG Goldfish, which is all they really have to go on right now, this is 20% of the meta. It's the top deck by kind of a lot. Golgari Midrange is like 5% behind it. And then at half of that, at like 8%, there's Gruul Prowess, and then there's some like burn and white decks under that. This appears to be very clearly the most represented deck in the format right now, and we have all the sets we're going to have before then, so this is what we've got, which puts me in the classic position of, do I play the best deck at the event, or do I try to beat the best deck with something off meta or some clever decision that is really good against this deck? But before I make any decisions like that, I have to play this deck and see how it feels. I'm just going to get in. This is Dimir Midrange in Standard, preparing for the Spotlight Series in Atlanta. I'm on the play in round number 1. My hand has some disruption. I am going to keep this, and given my lack of format knowledge, I could play Restless Reef tapped, or I could just curve out. And I think curving out is where I want to go, because I can still play all my cards even if Restless Reef comes into play tapped on turn 3. We've got Restless Fortress. This is the Orzhov one. And bats off to you. What's going on over there? Okay. Removal spell, Amalia. Ooh, I remember her from Pioneer. A bat of your own. And Ariet's Lullaby. Destroy target tap creature, gain 2 life. I think I take Go for the Throat here. I can kill all of these creatures so easily. Okay, they drew a 1-drop, which let them get their tap land in. Flying Lifelink at the beginning of your end step. If you descended this turn, scry 1. Okay. That dies to every card in my hand. Ooh, bat. I could bat this Lullaby out of their hand, and then they have no removal. That sounds pretty sick, actually. Bat out the Lullaby. Play my tap land. Do I want to offer a trade? I think so. They didn't take the trade. I didn't think they would. My hand is currently very good against their hand. Here's the bat. They're going to be disappointed with what they find. Hey, they took the 2-mana removal spell. That's interesting. Why not take one of the 1-mana ones? Okay. I'm going to start by mapping onto the bat with the worst card under it. Found an island. Wasn't really looking for that. I can cut, and swing here. They know my whole hand now. I know half of theirs. Here's Amalia. She has a Throat I can go for. I don't know if I need to do that right away. Just get in with these flyers. Fountain Port can make a fish if they don't really do anything. How sick would that Enduring Curiosity be right now, though? Just Ancestral Recall like crazy. They played a Swamp, which I didn't know about. I know Caves of Koilos is one of the 2 cards in their hands right now. Restless Reef is also here to battle. And they're just done. Okay, cool. I barely did anything, and that still felt insane. I did a quick scroll of MTG Goldfish Standard page and did not see any cards or any decks that look like this one. Your target creature enchantment, lose 2 life. Kaito is a way to turn the corner. Gix's Command, destroy each creature with power 2 or less. Each opponent sacrifices the creature with the highest power they control. I don't think so. Tidebinder. In Amalia, Tidebinder is good against Amalia. Do I cut Duress here? I just don't really know what their deck does, other than maybe gain life sometimes. I could cut a Shieldred. They didn't seem to be drawing a lot of cards. Alright, I'll just try +3 Tidebinders and play to the board until they show me something different. Yeah, you're watching the absolute bargain basement induction process right now. I have not played Standard since... I played it for one day when you could get an Urza Saga at your LGS. That was cool. I got the Shark Typhoon, but not the Urza Saga, unfortunately. I was very serious about Standard for the regional championship back in Dallas last summer, but that was like 6 months ago at this point. So I have played with some of these cards before, but a lot of them I haven't. I played the Underground River just in case I need to cut down. Like if they play Bat this turn, I'd like to just cut it. Okay, they just did nothing instead. That's fine. Deal. Island is the same as Gloomlake Verge on this turn. So I'll pass. I can Mastermind if they don't do anything. I can kill creatures if they do stuff. And now with 2 Masterminds and 2 removal spells in my hand, even Bat I'm not that worried about. Another 1 damage coming in. Enduring Innocence. This one is whenever 1 or more other creatures you control with power 2 or less enter, draw a card. This triggers once per turn. That's very powerful. But I also have Fairy Mastermind that can punish that sort of thing. Gloomlake Verge is fully on right now. Does this fly? Nope. Alright. In for 2. Start turning it back around on him. Hey, how many cards do they want to feed me, and am I able to leverage them quick enough to stabilize and turn this around? The Enduring Cycle is so powerful. They all do a lot for what you pay for, and then they just come back. And Blue-Black, not well known for answering enchantments. Do I want to kill this Ruin Lurker Bat? I don't think so. Like, I'm not racing the lifelink very well, but I do want to be a little patient right now. Okay, End Step Fairy Mastermind. And right now, while I have mana, I think I'm going to cut the bat down. I can exile this with Anoint. Okay, another Verge coming in. Joust through, deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature, and you gain 1 life. Okay, well, that works. I have gotten jousted. Officially jousted. Okay, I will Anoint with Affliction. Their thing. They've got 2 cards left. We both have 3 cards left. They have a creature land. I can go for his throat. Fountain Port is an engine on this board. Shieldred. The Apocalypse. Hopefully I can avoid the Apocalypse by just going for her throat. Is there a 1 white spell that saves Shieldred here? We got LOL in the chat. I'm a blue-black tempo deck. What do you think is in my hand? Weird. Weird energy. Okay. Kaito surveils 2, then draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn. That's nobody. I could plus Kaito. Alright, well, I'm going to play Kaito. Surveil 2. Do I want to surveil 2? I think I want to plus Kaito, because they could attack Kaito for 2. Oh, this is a 1/4? Mayo. That's not very good. Alright, I will surveil 2. Oh, here's these things. Top. I'll take them both. You're up. A Concealed Courtyard, 1 card left in hand, but there are multiple tech lands available. Curiosity has Flash, so I'm just going to attack first. I don't need to decide what's going on. It did not block. Flash and Curiosity. Let the train start rolling. Now Kaito actually does draw a card. Graveyard draw. I'll take a land, especially one that does stuff. And now I have a 4/3 in front of their creature lands, so even Kaito's not really under that much pressure. They're going to have to exile this for it to be gone, and they're done. Cool. I mean, just answer their stuff, start drawing cards, and then you win. I like decks like that. On to the next round. Your path to the Pro Tour starts here. Don't miss Magic Spotlight Foundations, January 3rd through 5th, 2025 at SCGCON Atlanta. Kick off the new year with Magic's most exciting new event. Compete in the brand new Foundation Standard format with $50,000 in prizes, 8 Pro Tour Aether Drift invites, and it's the only place to get the exclusive, borderless Terror of the Peaks promo card with art by the beloved Richard Kane Ferguson. All main event participants will get the exclusive Terror of the Peaks, but the top 128 will also earn a foil version of this breathtaking promo. Your path to the Pro Tour starts here, but only if you're part of the action. Come join me for Magic Spotlight Foundations at SCGCON Atlanta, January 3rd through 5th. Your sign-up link is in the video description. I am on the play in round number 2. I'll keep. I get to look at their hand on turn 1 and map out my whole life. Let's hope they're a deck with spells in it. There's one spell. Cut down's the only card I could take, and we are in the mirror match. Spyglass Siren is in. Go for the throat. Not excited about that right away. It'll be good against this Preacher eventually, though. No attack. All right. Second Siren. I will spend my mana. I don't think I'm going to reveal the Fountain Port just yet. I don't have any tokens. Swamp. Preacher, that has a throat. I will go for it. And now I can flash in Curiosity. They've got 3 cards in hand. Duress could miss here. And I have multiple ways to spend 4 mana. I'm going to chill. These X1s are gumming up the works, though. Soulstone Sanctuary becomes a 3/3 Vig with all creature types for 4 mana. All right. They picked up an island off their first map and another Preacher from hand. Okay, I'm going to spend as much mana as I can here. The bat, cool. All right. Bat you. Mockingbird and Floodpit's Drowner. Drowner, when it enters, tap target creature and opponent controls and stun it. And then you can shuffle that and target creature with stun counter. Mockingbird becomes a copy. And they can copy anything on the board right now. These are both good. And I can't take them both. I'm probably more worried about Mockingbird. This has flash, though. Yeah, if they copy my Curiosity, I'm going to lose this game very quickly. Yeah, I'll take the Mockingbird. And I could trade Curiosity for Preacher. Yeah, this is just the biggest thing on the board. And if this isn't a creature, they can't Flood Pit drown it. Okay, I like jump blocks. Just clear the way. Okay, my Fairy Mastermind will trigger here. Getting paid, finally. Didn't pay out very well, but I did get paid. Oh, did they draw Kaito? Yikes. Kaito off the top. Good stuff. All right, well, that's hitting me. Okay, they tapped and stunned my Curiosity with Kaito. Map reveals bat. Do you want that? They did keep the bat. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, that was a good turn. Can I reply with a good turn of my own? Not that way, I can't. They have Floodpit's Drowner, Preacher of the Schism in hand, and they're drawing Deep Cavern Bat. I guess I will just play my tap land and pass the turn and hope Fountain Port gets me through this. Yeah, that fell apart quickly. I fell pretty far behind now, and I'm not sure how I get back. Bat will take Duress. Embleming up Kaito. Now it hits harder. I don't think I'm going to interact with either of these things right now. I'm going to make a fish in the end step. Preacher's back. And I've gone fishing. 10 life. Ugh. All right, this one spiraled out. You can see how that would happen. Okay, I like Kaito. Blot out. Target opponent exiles a creature or planeswalker they control with the greatest mana value. This matchup is primarily about creatures, like the Duress. The first Duress was barely good, and the second one was blank. Xyx's Command could sweep up an entire board. Destroy target creature or enchantment, lose 2 life. I could see that being useful. I could see Tidebinder being good against Kaito. It's also just another flash threat. It also beats the Curiosity, because if they trigger to draw a card, you can remove all the abilities. But they still have a 4/3. If my spells are going to resolve, then Grixis Command is cool. There's not a lot of counterspells in this deck, and I don't think you bring in Negate in a matchup where I'm cutting Duress. Okay, I like Grixis Command. Shieldred looks good. Maybe I don't need this Withering Torment. I'm just going to keep it light. Okay, cool. I like this hand well enough. I'm on board with the 1/1 here. 1/1 into bat. I don't care about Duress, if that's even in the deck anymore. Okay, bat you. They could cut down this bat in response to the trigger, then I would just see their hand and not get to take anything. That did happen. Anoint, Drowner, Shieldred. Okay. It's going to be a big turn to draw a land or not here. Them having the Drowner and the Soulstone Sanctuary, I am learning a lot about flex slots here. They're drowning me. Dr. Owner. That's better than the other things they could have done. Okay, I'm going to map onto this. Enduring Curiosity. Do I want that in the graveyard? Not really, but I also don't want to draw it. Okay, I am not going to put it in the graveyard. That card seems really good. And I'm going to cut down this Flood Pit idiot before I can take my creature. Saving this Go for the Throat for that Shieldred that we know about. Miss Land Drop hurts. They cannot Anoint with Affliction Kaito. Hopefully they just tap out for Shieldred here and we get to crush their face. They didn't fall for it though. Yeah, Kaito being a defining card in this metagame is interesting with timing, because if they're on the level, then Anointing now is right. Cut down. All right, so that's handled. Drawing Restless Reef is good, though. I am back in the business of playing spells. They have multiple creature lands in play. They're hiding the Shieldred from me. I'm going to cut here. This just stuffs the map in a spot where we are kind of jockeying for resources. Kaito or Curiosity? I think I like Kaito. Surveil 2. Another Kaito and Preacher. I don't think I want another Kaito. Do I want this Preacher? I'm not even convinced I want this either. I kind of just want to hit my land drops. All right, I will keep the Preacher on top. Maybe I shouldn't have done that with double Anoint in their hand and I know it's there. What am I even worried about? Okay, here's Shieldred. We knew about her. I'm drawing Preacher. All right, Shieldred has a perfectly goable Throat. Attack first. And then I'm going to Surveil, try to hit my land drop and add to the board. Cool. The third Kaito, they're all here. Okay, I'll go top. Add the Preacher. I know they can answer it, but that costs mana. There's also a blocker to keep their creature lands off of my Kaito. Okay, they've passed the turn. Maybe I'm supposed to plus first. Okay, they acted in my main phase. I could still plus, but now I don't know that I want to. Yeah, I can make that decision after combat. I guess I'm just like basically locked into it anyway, but I am going to draw a card. That could change what I want to do. I'm hoping that turns like these will be much cleaner and clearer by the time Atlanta rolls around, and I know what I'm doing. Okay, we're in. If they have Mastermind, I have the counter. Tidebinder. Okay, so this gets countered regardless, but I can clear that thing later. Okay. Emblem or a draw card. Love drawing cards. Okay, get rid of Underground River. Do I want this land? I don't think so. Dump 2 lands. Anoint plays. I will pass. This is still a 4-3. Firing up the Reef. Okay, attacking with both. They mill me for 4. I'm going to block the Reef. Cut down the Tidebinder. And then Curiosity will trade with their land and come back. And now I should be way ahead. Okay, yeah, my cards are just cranking at this point. Restless Reef. Do I fire it up? Do I get in? I think so. It's an extra card. Plussing Kaito doesn't change the clock. Draw a bunch of cards. Reef, Siren, Surveil 2, dump the land. I'll take a bat. Okay, go. I need something big here to beat a land, a creature, this enchantment, and this planeswalker all at the same time. We know one of their 2 cards is Anoint with Affliction. And we're about to find out what the other card is. Okay, cool. They don't want me to know. So that one basically came down to game 1. They got the first draw engine going. Game 2, I got the first draw engine going. They did bring in their Tidebinders. Interesting. Should I take that as a hint from someone who probably plays more standard than me that they're good here? Or do I continue with my plan of not doing that? It does affect Curiosity, Kaito, Shieldred, Preacher. Those are like all the draw engines. Yeah, okay. I think I'm in for Tidebinder. Where am I going to find 3 cuts, though? Do I actually want all the Kaitos? Do I want Gix's Command? Kaito just seems really good. Maybe these Anoints aren't that good. They answer Preacher, but not Kaito, Shieldred, Curiosity. Maybe I cut Command and 2 of the Anoints. I still have Go for the Throat cut down. Cut down doesn't answer Preacher. It does get the other stuff, though. I'm going to go -1 cut down, +1 Anoint, bring 1 back in. Okay, I'm going to try it like this. This hand does things. I'll keep it. Okay, they just shipped it right back. I've got the Pirate. It's cool that you can just F6 in Standard. No Daze, no Force of Will. No Solitude, Endurance. It's just not going to happen, and they know it. I'm going to attack first, and I am not going to spend my map. If they want to spend mana on a removal spell this turn, I want them to not get my map out of it too. Oh, bats off to you. Attack with Siren. Now I have kind of the reverse thing going where I want them to spend removal on Siren. Kaito is on top. No, do not put that in the graveyard. And I will shove this bat. None of the removal in my hand answers Sheoldred anyway, so this is going to be my best answer to that. Phantom Interference. Okay. That would have countered that even if I didn't map first. Their list's very different than mine. At least 3 different key cards are different. This thing, and what was the other thing we saw? There was something else important going on. Okay. I could aggressively cut down and try to get in. I am going to do that. Kaito just seems so good, and it's uncounterable. Oh, no, they can Tidebinder this. Fuck. All right, I walked right into that. Okay. Nope. Notice that as soon as I was doing it. Yeah, that is an activated ability. Okay, Tidebinder definitely belongs in the matchup. And Curiosity. Okay, they got me. Definitely outplayed me here. I'm a noob. Give me a break. Okay. I want to afflict one of these things. And Siren. Map it. It hit the land. Good news, everybody. Yeah, this is a great learning moment, actually, in exploring a new format. Like, how can I get blown out here is a question you should be asking yourself. And we found an answer. And when I could have just held up some removal spells or done something like cast Sheoldred, instead I spent all of my mana into a pretty obvious face-up trick. And now I'm getting punished for it. They're up multiple cards on that already. Darkslick Shores entering tapped. You love to see it. Okay, Restless Reef can block. I don't want to do that, though. Flood Pit's Dr. Owner. I'll probably just anoint that so they don't draw more cards. Every removal spell hits Fairy Mastermind. Still going to go for it. This is so big, too. It's a 4/3. That card is nice. And I got interfered upon. I could have played around that by playing the Fairy first and then anointing second. That would have guaranteed that I draw cards, but I also would have taken more mana, or taken more damage. Okay, I can play Sheoldred or Kaito here. Kaito gets smoked by... Kaito's better against removal. Sheoldred's better against Tishana's Tidebinder. I'm going to go for Sheoldred. Yeah, at this point, they're up 3 cards on me, and probably just have a plethora of options. Well, they didn't counter the Sheoldred and didn't kill her, and they took 2 damage off their draw. Okay, they must have just drawn that. Or else. That doesn't make any sense. Up 4 cards now. And I'm at 5 life. Can't forget that I'm also just taking massive beats as all this other stuff happens. Alright, here he goes. Kaito, do your best. Stun, Enduring Curiosity. And they have the Tidebinder. That's what I played around last turn, and I was right. So, either they timed their Go for the Throat poorly last turn, or they drew it. Okay, GG. So I ran directly into that Kaito. That was a great learning moment. This is why we play the games. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 3, and I have to actually... Oh, no, I'm on the play. I'm going to look at my mana base. There are 24 lands. 5 of them don't make blue, which means I'm drawing to 19 cards out of 53. I don't like my chances here. I'm going to mulligan. This is not great either. I think I am going to keep this, though, and bottom one of these Preachers. If I draw an untapped land, I can Siren plus map immediately next turn. If I don't draw a land, I could Siren on the slow, map on the turn after that. Hoping for the best. Slightly less than half my deck is lands right now. Restless Reef. Yikes. Alright, well, this is really bad. Hitting your land drops in any sort of blue mirror is really important, and I'm not doing that. They pass the turn. Okay, this is going to hurt if they kill it, which they should if they have the spell. Ouch. Alright, well, we're in the garbage. Maybe you just can't keep 1-landers in Standard. Is that a reasonable thing to say? Don't be afraid of 5. I would have mulled that on 7. Now we're just spiraling out. Screw beats Flood, though. They still have some hope. Yeah, knowing what cards exist in the format, they could just tap out for 4 drops now. Yeah, there's Jace. This is just going to kill me all in one shot a few turns from now. Alright, I'm good. We don't need to keep doing this. That was another lesson learned. Duress and Negate and Disdainful Stroke. Oh, Disdainful Stroke actually seems really good in the mirror, with Shieldred and Curiosity being important. Yeah, that probably should have been in last round. The Jace is curious because I don't have that, and it doesn't make sense in an Enduring Curiosity deck, so I think they're more of a control deck than I am, just based on that one card that we saw. How far away from removal am I willing to go? Like, I could just cut 8 removal spells, rely on discard and encounters. I'm going to try this. This one has 2 lands, which is twice as good as my last stand. I will keep this. Opponent went to 6. A Swamp. That does represent cut down, which unfortunately would blow out my curve, but I'm still just spending my mana. Cool. They didn't have it, and I hit the land. The best outcome. Playing my land before combat to threaten Kaito. Let's see if they remove this out of respect for Kaito. That's kind of fun. Like the seesaw interaction of, like, if they kill this to play around Kaito, I get to resolve a 3-drop second main. Well, I don't have Kaito. You're unpunished. And I could play another Siren and hold up Negate. Or I could just jam the Preacher. I think I'm going to play another Siren. I don't want to give them a real tasty go for the throw target here. Nowhere to run. Target creature gets -3/-3. Creatures your opponent control can be the target of spells or abilities as if they didn't have hexproof, and ward doesn't trigger. Okay, cool. Powerful. And Preacher would have survived that particular removal spell. Ooh. Somebody's missing land drops, and we saw how that goes. Now I do have the Kaito, which I did not have last turn, but now it doesn't have hexproof. Alright, I'm going to map onto this. Yeah, this is a place that I will choose to fight, knowing that they're missing land drops. Me hitting mine. Okay. What do these 2 lands do? This card is very cool. Good counter to Kaito. Good thing to be aware of. Chrome Host Seed Shark. That has a throat. Ooh, sick. Oh, this doesn't tap for black. That's annoying. Okay, well, I'm probably taking 1 this turn then. Bat. Jace, another Shark, Edict, and Shieldred. Oh, I'll take the other Shark. That's the thing I'm not ready to battle against yet. They can Phyrexian cast the Jace. Edict answers Kaito. Yikes! They drew a sweeper. Alright, well, you have your Shark back. Okay, I could resolve Kaito this turn. It's just gonna die. Alright, I'll cast Enduring Curiosity. That one lines up well against what they're showing me. Tidebinder can answer Jace or Shieldred in the future. It's not irrelevant versus Seed Shark either. Okay. They use the Edict on that. Back into a spot where lands are good. Preacher, go. They could plus Jace onto my Preacher, and then Tidebinder would blow them out. They could play Shieldred, who I can turn off in my draw step. I feel it's starting to slip away though, depending on what decisions they make this turn. They did nothing. Don't like that. This is a combat trigger. So if they play the removal spell that they're clearly representing, now is the time to do it. Sheoldred's Edict. Each opponent sacrifices non-token creature of their choice. I could activate Restless Reef here and sack that. I could also let Preacher die. I think I'm going to activate Restless Reef. Okay, sacrifice that and then get this going. This will draw multiple cards this turn. And that's what I really want to be doing. Cool. All right. We'll see how that pays out. These creature lands are really powerful. Gloom Lake Verge. Jace Sheoldred, 1 unknown in hand. Oh, no, I did know them all. JK. I knew everything. Fairy Mastermind, get in. Preacher has the Death Touch. And it draws a card anyway. Duress can take the Jace. Duress you, take Jace. The hand is Sheoldred. Siren. Map onto Mastermind. Is this ever going to be big enough to be relevant? Map onto Preacher. I could just resolve Kaito right now. Stun the Shark. That sounds pretty good. I think I could have tapped in a way this turn that didn't deal 1 damage to me. Okay, stun that twice, and I'm prepared to light up their life next turn. There's Sheoldred. I can turn her off. Okay, that doesn't have words on it anymore. I'm going to cast this Bat, see what their last card is. Tidebinder. Okay. I think if I just yeet Kaido, draw 3 cards this turn, that's pretty good. I could also just attack with my flyers and the Preacher. Save Kaito. I could plus Kaito, and then he actually survives. Okay, I'm going to plus Kaito and get in with everything. This is going to be worth a bunch of cards. The Preacher can trade with Sheoldred here. They want to touch butts with Kaito. I draw 3. Another Tidebinder. Okay, pass the turn, hope I don't die. Deduce. Okay, this does start cranking out things. I am not going to Tidebind the Shark here. I draw a card from Mastermind. They played their land out. That is all the stuff they have. I'm going to Tidebind this. Just leave them sitting on no cards, no action. Cool. All right. That was fun. My read was right. They are more controlling. Kaito seems like one of the better things I could have. I have all my discard in. I have all my counter spells in. Leaving in some removal was still right because they have creatures like Sheoldred. We saw that Sweeper that gives -2 to everything. We also saw a Chrome Host Seed Shark. Maybe Spyglass Siren is something I can back off of a little bit. I could get Blot Out in, plus the last Kaito. And I understand that Spyglass Siren is my on-ramp to Kaito. Cool. Duress, both negates. My mismatching negates, neither of which are the version I actually play with. Forgot to check that. Duress you. This deck's gotta have spells in it. Yeah, hand is literally all spells. Okay. We've got 4 removal spells, 2 spot removal spells, 1 conditional sweeper, 1 insane sweeper. I think I just take Deduce here and make them work through it fair and square. Probably could have soft punished a Deduce with the Fairy Mastermind, but I would prefer if they just start missing land drops, honestly. Which they are doing. I'm also missing land drops, though. Or I may soon start. Okay, I am going to try to draw a negate to go with a land for negate. Cool. Rewarded for my patience here. Hitting land drops versus not hitting land drops is busted. Okay, this doesn't draw a card here. If they use the clue on their turn, I will get a bonus card off it. They found a land, Temple of Deceit. Yeah, MTG Foundations, it's back. Okay, they are starting to dig out. It's time for me to do something. Mastermind. They didn't crack their clue in response. This would be a huge turn to draw another land, and I can play Preacher with negate still up. Okay, negate that. That's the cut down spent. Sheoldred, wow, okay. I accept that as well. And none of the removal spells in their hand kill Sheoldred. Or none that I'm aware of. They do have 3 unknown cards over there. The Deadly Cover-Up can get it, but because they missed the land drops, Not till next turn. Another temple. And they pass to me. I haven't drawn another land yet, which means I am going to just hold up negate this turn. Anointing that with Affliction. Okay. Restless Reef, and third tap land in a row, but it is a third land all the same. Go for the Throat. Annoying, but okay. I will negate it, just like we drew it up. This does unfortunately mean that I can't play Preacher because they're going to have to Wrath this turn anyway. They are going to be at 4 life when that happens, though, which is not very much life, but they are a control deck. They don't need much life to win. They have plenty of evidence to collect if they want to remove the other Shieldred from the deck, or all my Duresses. Yep, evidence is collected. They are taking my 2 Shieldreds. And I drew a Reef. That's really good. I would have preferred a land that comes into play untapped to cast double Preacher, but a creature land also plays here. They're at exactly 4 life. The Sweeper in their hand does not kill this thing. I again tapped wrong, but that was a misclick. I was aware that I wanted to tap Underground River. I just do not have a island or swamp in play, and I thought I would have to click on my Gloomwake Verge twice, once to indicate it and once to choose it for blue. But instead, the 2 clicks just tap them, and then my creature's in play. That's what happened there. All right, cool. Just a steady stream of threats, duress, so I could plan everything and just keep them off my back a little bit. That makes sense. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. On the play in round 4 with the nice little curve out. And by curve out, I mean 1 drop and then someday something that makes the 1 drop good. Gloom Lake, Siren, Copperline Gorge. All right, we got some Gruul in the chat. The Mighty Mouse. During Curiosity. Okay. I'm going to play an island, and I think I'm just going to pass. I want them to commit some stuff to the Mighty Mouse, and that requires, if I block and we just trade 1/1s, I'm okay with that. If we block, then they cast some giant growth, then I kill it. I get extra value. Burst Lightning. My Lightning. Okay, attack. No blocks. All right, I'm going to go for this thing's throat anyway, so here I go. Now a giant growth is good for 4 damage, but their creature is going to be dead anyway. All right, they just didn't do that. And pass the turn. Cool. Cut down. That's probably good here. Cut down being conditional versus bump spells is potentially concerning against a deck that probably has them. Different Mighty Mouse. Okay, they can give it double strike or trample. It has double strike. You did it. Good job. Okay, I am going to cut this down. If they Monstrous Rage to save it or whatever, I would like to spend my mana other ways next turn. Okay, they did do that. And I will pass. Curiosity has Flash. That's actually really interesting, whether I'm supposed to do that or not. I suspect no. Emberheart Challenger. Yeah, they get to flip a card for free off the Mighty Mouse. Hit a mountain, that's their land drop for the turn. The cool thing about these Curiosities is they just come right back. I can block the one with Trample that requires a trick to save it, or I could block the one with Double Strike that will trade with my creature no matter what. But I do stop all the damage. I'm going to block the one that I actually just beat in combat. Cool, and it worked. I'm at 15 life. And they didn't have a follow-up. Big if true. This is not even legendary, so I will attack with one and then play the other. First time I'm experiencing having 2 of these. Wait, caramba. And I draw a bunch of cards here. Didn't find the removal spell I was looking for, but I did find a card to cast. They're seeking a beast in the end step, or in response to Spyglass Siren, Manifold Mouse, Monastery Swiftspear. Sure. More dopes. This Swiftspear treatment matches the Manifold Mouse treatment pretty well, even though they're from different sets. That's cool. Played this without Offspring. So they're still looking for flips. They hit another Manifold Mouse. That is all of those that you play. There they are. No attack. All right. They don't want to lose that thing. That's big. We can play one of these things before the turn is over. If they have a land, they get them both. And it went valued Swiftspear over Mouse, which I think probably means they're valuing having a trick up versus not having a trick up. I think I'm just going to attack with all my creatures. Potentially a lot of damage coming back, but I do have a blocker, and if they don't block, everything they don't block is +2 cards for me. 5 damage to target creature. Okay, that does not actually even remove it from play. I'm still drawing a bunch of cards. I also have a 4/4 land I can block with. Jumping with Swiftspear, I only draw 2 cards. Busted. Removal spell feels really good right now. And, okay, so I have Anoint, other thing, or Animate. Okay, so maps are good to use here. Deep Cavern Bat. I would like to keep that. And Anoint is mana value, not power. So I don't have to worry about that. Questing Druid is in. If I want to anoint this challenger, it does stop them from seeing an extra card. I'm going to do that. I don't want them digging back in here. I feel like I'm pretty far ahead. This does let them get in with this double strike creature. It would have to get to 8 power to kill me. Do I just put my Mastermind in front of this? I wish I knew the pump spells better. Okay, no blocks. Hope I'm not dead. Okay, just 2 damage. We did it. Swiftspear. Love a post-combat Swiftspear. And Emberheart Challenger as well. All right. End step Mastermind. That's 2 flyers who are good for a draw 4 situation. They knew I was drawing the bat, so they played around that. Just going to attack with everything. Curiosity at least gets a trade. I'm going to draw at least 4. I have multiple blockers back. Okay, we did at least get the trade. This is so many triggers. Okay, there's the comeback from the death trigger. Then there's the draw millions of cards trigger. Fountain Port, Bat, Preacher, leave up, go for the throat. I don't know what draw is left in their deck that could save them here. I think I'm more likely to deck myself than I am to lose to their deck. Flip Copperline Gorge. Oh, here comes everything. I'm going to block here with the Death Touch, with the intent of going for the throat on the challenger, if I'm even worried about it, which I'm not totally convinced that I am. Okay, so this, the Rage is going on to the Swiftspear. I could just let these trade then. Yeah, that's fine. I am going to kill the unblocked one, let Death Touch trade with this one. I take a little bit of trample damage, 1 trample damage, and then they have nothing going on versus another round of draw 6. Cool. All right. Enduring Curiosity. Hello. Gix's command destroys every creature in their deck. Might be too slow, but I am still into it. Blot Out is not irrelevant, but it is kind of important to pick what creature dies in a matchup like this one. This actually looks like the matchup where Kaito would be the worst. Might still be great, but I don't really want to be committing my creatures to combat and then creating an object that doesn't block. Seems like piling up with disruption, removal, and big asses is how I want to do this. Urabrass Forge is a card they could have. I am aware of that one. And Tishana's Tidebinder is my best tool against that. Tidebinder could also counter Prowess triggers or various mouse triggers. And maybe this card's good. Maybe it's better than Duress. My plan is to get them Hellbent anyway, but duressing them and knowing what tricks I need to play around is a big deal. But if I have Go for the Throats and Anoints, maybe I don't need that. Not cutting any of my big creatures. Spyglass Siren and Fairy Mastermind are the creatures that I don't really want to trade with their creatures. Right, I'll get rid of Blot Out and play like this. Okay, I like this Carve Out. I would like it better on the play, but that's what I get for winning game 1. Mighty Mouse. Okay, Anoint is good. that exiles as well, so the Heartfire Hero won't even get me on the way out. Manifold Mouse, this is going to be 4 damage in combat when it gets double strike. In you go. Another Deep Cavern Bat. Kind of behind at this point, but I think I want to spend a turn batting anyway. What do you got over there? All spells. Good to know. Another Manifold Mouse, 2 Swift Spears, Screaming Nemesis. I'll take the other, or no, this is Heartfire Hero. This is Manifold Mouse. Okay, this is the one that I thought it was. All right, cool. They drew a land, which means they could play Nemesis this turn. They're gonna gas up Heartfire Hero. That's the thing that makes sense to do. It's a lot of damage coming my way. I'm not gonna interact with it. I'd love to draw Cut Down. Is that what I want? Gix's Command. Well, that certainly feels slow here. Okay, I could chump this for a turn with Deep Cavern Bat if I was going to play Preacher of the Schism. I might just be dead, though. Yeah, I think that curve was a little too good. All right, I'm not going to block with Bat, so let me gain a life. Okay, I'm going to pass and just hope that they do something with their Manifold Mouse that results in me still being alive. Swift Spear number 1. Swift Spear number 2. Swift Spear number 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is my life total no matter what I do. Okay. Well, yeah, I was pretty far behind at that point. Okay. I think same deck. I just play draw. I got on the play that exact same game with all the exact same cards. I easily win instead of lose. That's interesting. Okay. Removal, bat, lands. Opponent went to 5. That's good for my bat hand. No, bat hand. Swift Spear. Begin the bleeding. A bat, get in there. The hand is Case of the Crimson Pulse, Ember Heart Challenger. Gotta read this one. You solve this when you have no cards in your hand. And solved at the beginning of your upkeep, discard your hand and draw 2 cards. All right, well, I'm taking Ember Heart Challenger. Pretty good 4-card hand. The mold of 4 tech of having a thing in your hand that cares about if you're hellbent. Mountain. Attack, no block. There's Gix's Command again. A little less embarrassing this game, but still not going to be relevant. Maybe this is just too slow and I should not have that card in. Schism. Death Touch is so nice versus a prowess deck. You just know it's going to die. Even if it takes your thing with it, at least it's gone. Right, here's the case. When it enters, discard a card, then draw 2 cards. Discarded Mountain. They will not be attacking here. And my Preacher gets to do both things on this attack because we have the same life total. Drawing a 3rd Preacher. Making a lifelink blocker. All right, go Preach. Evangelize these heathen red players. Can they play 3 cards this turn and solve their case? Does that matter if they do? Screaming Nemesis. All right, well, I won't be blocking that one. All right, that one also won't be attacking. That's good. Potentially even better. Oh, nice. I'm going to go for Screaming Nemesis's Throat before combat. Then get in with everything except the Vampire. This draws 2 cards. An untapped land, I think, seals it because my removal's just online at that point. Like, I've got work to do here, but they're really far behind. Carplusan Forest, 2 cards left. Unless they have a land, it should be easy for them to get hellbent here. Witch Stalker Frenzy. It deals 5 to a creature. Okay, well, that's dead. Burst Lightning to the Dome. Okay, they solve their case. That means they draw 3 cards every turn. But they gotta use them or lose them. That is also a triggered ability, which I'm going to use Tidebinder to tempo through. Beginning of your upkeep, do stuff, except don't. If that card in their hand is blank, I have lethal. If I have to play a removal spell, I don't, but I guess I flash in Mastermind and then just kill their thing anyway, so that was exact damage. That felt heavily reliant on play versus draw. Like, the 2 games I was on the play felt hilariously in my favor. Though my opponent did also mold a 5 into a bat in game 3, so maybe we can't make too many conclusions from that one game. On to the final round.
We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
I'm on the play in the final round, positive records locked, playing for the bread and butter 4-1. I'm against Salvato. I wonder if this is Luis Scott. or Luis Scott Votto. Luis Salvato. Luis Scott Votto sounds like a really powerful Magic player. Okay. I got some bats for turn 2. Dark Slick Shores. Batcha. Okay, 2 removal spells. I guess I will take the one with more conditions on it. Lock out the Go for the Throat. Or lock out the Annoyed, so you have to go for my throat. Alright. Island. Let's see if they respect Kaito here. He's taking beats. And I'm going to push my advantage. I know they have a removal spell for this on curve, but if they remove this, then they don't remove Bat. If they remove Bat, that's another turn they have to spend doing something else. Okay, so just adding to the board instead. Mastermind's attacking. That has no intention of blocking. Oh, you have the Kaito. Good draw. Fair enough. That stuns my creature for a while. During Curiosity, I have to hit a player to draw those cards. I could put some damage on Kaito. That doesn't really do anything, though. I'll just pull ahead on cards here. Yeah, Kaito has hexproof, but he's not indestructible, and this creature just trades with it. Okay, plusing Kaito, and the creature no longer trades with it. Getting in there. They have enough lands now to... Or no, my long-term plan is paying off. Or they have Go for the Throat in hand already, and Anointed Affliction is the one that's frozen out. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm just going to go to combat. The Drowner. Okay. Seen that in a couple opponents' lists at this point. Seems solid. There goes the Throat. Okay, so you have Anoint with Affliction back. There's 2 Fairy Masterminds in hand. Unfortunately, this land comes in tapped. I think I want to clear this Drowner. That's just too good of an answer to Curiosity, which is the best thing I have going on right now. Kaito's getting in, doing the Surveil, played Restless Reef. Okay. We know they have Anoint with Affliction in hand, and they are going to play it right now, I imagine. Yep, there goes that one. Second main land creature. I have some Throats I can go after. Mastermind. There's still another one in there from earlier. Kaito stunning my creature. I'm not going to kill this Fairy Mastermind. I guess maybe I am. Ooh, what's happening? Yikes, they have a Curiosity. Okay, now I'm definitely killing this Mastermind. Okay, let's take that out at least. Yeah, this Kaito is absolutely burying me. We've seen this thing overperform in every match it's been in play. Okay, can I clear Kaito now? I can go for this thing's Throat. It comes back as a dope. And Gloomwake Verge, fire up the Reef. Okay. Attack Kaito, attack opponent. Milieu for 4. I don't think there's any 1-mana interaction that is useful here. Alright. Starting to turn it around a little. This Mastermind's a little scary, but Bat can flush it out. They could just fire up Reef and race. Spyglass Siren. Immediately shows another Mastermind. And wants it. Okay. Ooh. Big if true. Let's take a look at that hand first. Anointing in response, so it's just a look. Urtai and Fairy Mastermind. Okay. Urtai counters a spell or kills a creature, and I draw a card when that happens. I'm at 7. If I hit with this Curiosity, my opponent's also going to draw a card. But I can't really stop that from happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. I am dead on the backswing if I just swing out here. If I attack, you get Mastermind. Mastermind draws a card. I can stun Spyglass Siren. And there's a second Mastermind underneath. I guess I'll take the swing. I could also Ninjutsu Kaito, and then I don't draw another card. But they don't have to commit until the trigger's on the stack. Okay, here comes Mastermind. I drew another land. Kaito. Stun the Siren. And I guess I will leave up Gloomlake Verge, at least represent the possibility of cut down, make you think about something. The creature lands are not getting involved. No cards drawn from that Curiosity. Cut down, that's a interesting find. Is Urtai going to jump in before attacks? Yes. Where's this going? It's going on to Preacher. Preacher is dead. Oh, okay. So this does make me draw a card, which will trigger Mastermind. I don't think that means I want to cut down a tapped creature right now. Okay, they're flashing in the other Mastermind now. Now I do want to do something. Okay, I'm going to cut the untapped Mastermind. I drew a blank. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looking pretty dead here. I do not have a lethal attack to present either. I think trying to spike a removal spell on this attack is the best thing I can do. So I'm dead on the backswing to the Reefs anyway. It just doesn't matter. Okay. This comes back and I draw a card. Duress was not what I was looking for. Nowhere to run in the main deck. Okay. Yeah, that Kaito just completely dominated everything forever, and now I lose. Even if I have cut down, I'm dead because my black source is Underground River. That was cool, though, watching somebody really leverage Kaito. Like, they were behind on board, just flipped Kaito, used the stun to lock down my big creature, and then just had it after that. Okay, Kaito's in. Tidebinders. Still think Cut Down is the worst removal spell. Duress can strip Kaitos and removal spells. A lot of important creatures in the matchup, though. Blot Out could hit Kaito, but Tidebinder is answering Kaito for 3 mana, so I'm on that already. Yeah, I think I'm going to back off the Duresses and play to the board. I mentioned Disdainful Stroke last time, but that doesn't counter Ninjutsu. 1 lander, not acceptable here. I can play with this one. I think I'm going to bottom... It's either Anoint, Tidebinder, or Swamp. I think it's Anoint. We're both on 6. Opponent kept it fair. Spyglass Siren. Unfair. Thought we were keeping it reasonable. Opponent, how about you chill? Siren's getting in. I'm going to play a Mastermind. Darkslick Shores right on time. Do you want to F around with Kaito? I didn't do anything to play around Kaito. Might not have removal. Might not have anything useful here. Another Mastermind. That means if I'm going to stop Kaito, it has to be with Tidebinder. Opponent getting in for 2. I think if they were going to Kaito, they would have done it with the Siren. Another Mastermind. Creature. Yeah, I think I just pass here. I have more Masterminds than they do, which means I can just spend 4 mana and make them draw a card, or make us both draw a card, which then draws me 2 more cards, which then also draws them 1 more card. I don't know who that favors. Anointing my thing. Okay, that's gone. Still attacking with just Mastermind. Correctly identify that I don't want to mess around with that. I'll anoint that in the end step. Coast is clear. My own Spyglass Siren. Let's go. Crazy how powerful this little shitter is. And I didn't use my map, so I clearly have some 3 mana play. Curiosity, that's really good. Okay, I'm going to block their Siren with my Siren. Damage happens. I'm going to Tidebind this. Still have a 4/3, but they don't have an Enduring Curiosity. That would have also drawn me a card, but I think I want that thing answered more than I want a card. Another Mastermind. I'm going to map onto Tidebinder. Spyglass Siren. I am going to put that in the graveyard. That's not what I'm about. And my first successful attack. Successful, it comes with a question mark. We're in there. Okay, cool. Another Curiosity. If they have a removal spell here, I'm in some trouble. Okay, so how does this work? I'm going to block one of them. If I block this one, it's dead. And they draw 1 card. If I block this one, it comes back as an enchantment and they draw a card. So I'm going to block the one I'm already locking down. This also means this one doesn't get out from under Tidebinder if they have a Kaito. And once this trigger is committed to the stack, I'll flash in my other Mastermind. Okay, they tried to kill the first one. I've got another one. Okay, we're both drawing cards, but they have a bigger creature. Now they don't have a bigger creature. Mapped Cut Down. Well, that answers my Mastermind. Okay, here we go. Land. Untap land. Tidebinder is not that good. Well, Mastermind, you might as well attack, buddy. Opponent's got Restless Reef over there. That sucks so hard. Okay, I'm just going to pass. Yeah, having the land to have Go for the Throat and Preacher this turn would be big. Opponent just has more mana than me, which has been devastating throughout this game. I could go to 2 life to turn off the Curiosity, but I don't think that even makes any sense to do. I should just Doomblade it. And then Tidebinder can counter a Restless Reef activation. Okay, attack that, or kill this before we go into blocks, because if we go into blocks and I try to Doomblade it, they can flip it into Kaito. Okay, still holding that cut down. Found the extra land. I am going to attack. There's the cut down. Okay, pass the turn. The game has become kind of interesting here. Well, it was interesting. I'm going to have to stifle that. And then, okay, that works too. What's the better thing to actually do here? I guess I have to Doomblade it, or go for the Throat it. Yep. And that was clearly my draw for the turn. No tricks there. And Tidebinder does not turn off Restless Reef forever, unless it's a creature. Okay, so that permanent loses all abilities for as long as Tidebinder's on the battlefield. I could go to 1 to turn off. Oh, I narrated right through that. I'm gonna go to 1 to turn off at least future attacks. Yikes. I was supposed to stifle the activation. Busy narrating. Let's see if this version works out better for me. I go to 1. They draw an extra card. That permanent has no abilities anymore. I'm all in. Let's go. Attack you back. Okay, so this doesn't tap for mana and can't animate. Begin the turnaround. Okay, well, that's dead. And they can activate Reef. I'm going to have to trade it with my Death Touch creature. Oh, no. The person who drew a bunch of extra cards in the game is ahead. Who could have predicted this? We're back. We're back. Tidebinder, I'm at 1. All right, GG. Okay, we got to see Kaito really in action there, pulling a game back from the brink. Positive record. The 2 losses were both to the mirror match, which is probably a symptom of skill differential, considering this is my first games of Standard in months. Definitely identified the Tidebinder, the Kaito into Tidebinder in that first mirror match we played, and then opponents had some other stuff like the Nowhere to Hide, which could break open the Kaito, where I don't have things like that. I really like the play patterns of this deck. I'm going to have to do some digging into Standard and figure out if this is a high skill mirror or not, because it looks like it probably is, and it looks like your tech slots matter a lot. And if those are true, then I like the position of it, because I can learn that. That's not a big deal. There are mirror matches where it's just like, who went first, who kept 7, and it's a big garbage pile, and I would like to avoid games like that, but I don't think this deck, with all of its cheap interaction, all the decisions you get to make, all the cards you get to see, could possibly be just a Candyland-ass mirror. So I'll be working on this. Look forward to some Standard videos, maybe like 1 a week. I'm not going to do a ton. It's not going to become a Standard channel. Everyone stop. This guy's not falling. Still a legacy person. But I do think Standard is cool, and if we're going to get $50,000 tournaments that send us directly to the Pro Tour, I would like to be in touch with the format enough to engage with those when they're available to me. I'll be in Atlanta. Hopefully I'll see you there. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.